All right, everyone. Welcome back to the 6th edition of the podcast. So we got Proud Daddy Woody
Hello.
and Swabbers.
Hey.
And so we're back after the second game week. How did it go, Woody?
Not good, Lionel. Not good.
Not great.
Not great. Well, it went good for everyone else. It was like statistically the highest averaging, the highest points hauling kind of whatever. A lot of records broken, FPL and real PL.
How did Lewis do, Woody?
Well, my hot
The
tip,
one he insisted on getting.
my hot tip, Jamal. Well, he got kicked in the face after conceding 3 goals. So, not a great day for Jamal. Not a great day. So yeah, highest points 165, average points 59.
Imagine conceding 3 goals and getting kicked in the
Get kicked in the face. Yeah, it's not a great
That's a bad
day.
week.
And then the guy, no, he did get sent off. Yeah, that's right, he did get sent off. And then there was a whole hoo-ha about was it violent conduct or not. Anyway, so average points was 59, and we romped home with 45. Not helped by the fact that we decided to not play Son, Ings, and Mitrovic.
One of our followers kindly pointed that out to us. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
for
if
that.
you could not dwell on those things in the future, we appreciate it. But anyway.
And I know, can you guys remember who your picks for the week were?
Mine was Sterling. Sterling.
Good.
I got a strong 5 points.
Yeah,
Mine was obviously Son. So
no, was it actually?
okay, it was Fernandez. All right, but he's one for the season. All right.
Yep. And so the only player in our team that did any good whatsoever was Bamford, 14 points, who was my pick. So I'll take that one. I'll claim victory for game week 2. But needless to say, we can do better.
We can and we will, and this is why we're here. We're back stronger this time. So we'll kick off with a bit of a review of the actual game week last week. So I think the first game that was pretty noteworthy, I think everyone's going to be thinking about this, is Everton 5-2 against West Brom and a DCL hat-trick. Has everyone drafted them in this week? Have we been seeing points hits? What's going on?
Yeah, Alex?
Yeah, I mean DCL. Again, what's funny? What I gauge all of this on is kind of how Mopey's reaction changes with regards to players throughout the season. I believe his words at the beginning was like, "Nah, mate, nah. Not one for the season, mate. Not one.
Waste
for the
of
season.
money. Not getting on that train."
This is definitely an embellishment of the truth, but I'll go with it because I'm pretty sure I was anti-DCL and now I'm pro-DCL. So.
But last week we did mention the fact that Richarlison is someone to keep an eye out for, and I do
that's
think
right. I was Team Richarlison, which is justified. The 3 assists and he got something the first week. So yeah, but if you're going to choose between the two, which you have to now because they're both strikers, I guess it's a DCL.
DCL for me, yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if you recall last week, but in the team selection, DCL was my number 1 pick, and you overrode me on that one as well. So, you know.
Okay. We've got Mopey number 2 today. Also, Rodriguez, what are we thinking? Is Rodriguez a buy?
Yeah, and he splits the value difference. You know, you got 8 mil for Richarlison, 7 for DCL. So if you've got a bit of cash, and you know, you can
again another one that Mopey was like, nah.
Yeah, overrated, mate. There's never hasn't won in years.
If he does, okay, he's had 1 good week. All right, you guys need to give it a rest. All right, okay. Yeah. Everton, and a bit of a shout out to Pereira, who scored a great free kick and got an assist. So at 6 mil, he's pretty.
Cheers. You're welcome,
yeah,
guys.
That's Eric's. Sorry, that's Alex's baby. Yeah, a bit of Pereira.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It's going to be a tough one against Chelsea, but we'll get into that.
Another good game was second time in a row, actually. Leeds 4-3. This time they were the winning side, and just loads of goals, basically loads of goals and assists. So that, you know, having a Leeds asset like any of the Bamford, Klitsch, Costa brigade sort of seems like a safe bet, right?
And Mitro as well. Mitro being dropped so much actually came back to hit those people in the arse a little bit there.
Yeah, people were definitely reacty of game week 1, to more so than usual, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely bit people. Like my old man, he put Mitro on the bench. So he still had him in the team, but he's sitting on the bench with 12 points.
That is the worst, isn't it? When you got one of those players on the bench.
What makes it worse is he started Lundstrom.
Who missed the penalty, right?
Missed a penalty, yeah.
Mate, Lunders has gone down the drain this season.
Poor old guy. For 5.5, he's not worth it, yeah.
And then
And
Crystal Palace, unfortunately, has made me rethink my attachment to Manchester United with their display.
As in a supporter, are you thinking of ditching them completely? Like moving
what
on.
is going on? I mean, they've got a great team. What's the story there?
Well, Woody is claiming that during the week they look back to their old self. So
there was glimpses of the old counter magic. You know, the one touch, tiki taka. You know that great the good stuff. I mean, again, a bit reacty. They didn't play any preseason friendlies as a first team. They had one when it was, I think, Rashford was the only first team player playing.
Yeah, but neither did Man City, and look how they dominated the first half against Wolves. So it's just the way I see it is, if Fernandes is really not delivering, I don't think Man U can do much. Like, presumably against Luton, he was kind of coordinating the whole thing from the midfield, which he usually does.
Well, he only came on for the last 18 minutes or so.
All right, so he didn't do much.
But then he looked good. But then I'm saying, when they came on, Rashi, Fernandes and Greenwood, then they were firing on all cylinders. I don't know. I just think a little bit like Mitrovic and Timo Werner. I think people are a little bit like, oh, United, oh, here we go again. Ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. It'll be a tough game against Brighton, and they're very good and very, tough going forward, and they're a bit leaky at the back. I don't know. Just don't write them off just yet. I think.
And what about Zaha? Do you think it's a good time to jump on the Zaha train?
I think this week, Everton, great going forward, but they are a bit leaky at the back. And, Zaha versus Coleman, I think Zaha is going to win that pretty much all day long. So,
okay. Yeah, and as well, I mean, another game, which is quite a big game, was the 5-2 for Spurs against Southampton. And again, I loved it because I stuck to my guns and I kept Son.
Yeah,
and I'm happy I did because of that.
It was a very frustrating game to watch, not owning Son or Kane. But...
Oh, God.
Well, Alex, tell everyone how your personal team did last week.
Oh, God, yeah, no, I got... So
he's been telling everyone else, so...
Yeah, that wasn't the first thing you opened with.
So I went from, to sum it up really briefly, guys, I went from having a 20-point week, the first week, to 100 plus. That is purely because of, being cold-blooded, chilled, relaxed. Didn't get...
I remember a very stressed-out phone call during the week where you showed me about 10 different wildcard drafts, okay?
I was in the fetal position for the whole week, guys. I was in the fetal position. I was like, please. And I'm glad I'm get. I looked at the like as you guys said, you guys should look at the names on your team sheet and just feel comfortable with it. They're good on paper, so they should deliver in the next week, which they did, because I had Mane, I had Son, I had Mitrovic up front, I had Ingsy, all of which everyone was like reacting and just sold and got rid, which I'm glad I didn't. But obviously things change throughout the season, so let's just see. I mean, we have to stay humble. Do you know what I mean?
I think first of all that's outrageous. But secondly, I think one thing is for sure is that if you've had a bad week and you're sitting on 20 points, 30 points, it can definitely, if you've got a good team, you have to stick to it. And giving a shout out to our boy Tal here, just don't get too reacty, my friend. Okay,
he's already done 12 points apparently for this game week because he used his basically
following a wild card.
Yeah.
Oh god,
plus 12. I mean, jeez, that's some tinkering right there. But also, I think we are showing our wisdom and our maturity a bit more at the start of this season, because I fell victim to that last year. I was very much like looking too much, trying to predict who was going to be good, making too many transfers, taking too many hits, and so I think we've maybe learned our lessons. Just to sit on your hands a little bit.
Well, Woody, you're doing a new strategy this year that we touched upon on an earlier podcast, but you were kind of keeping your cards close to your chest, and it seems to have been...
I'm testing the theory because it's a bit of a different approach to what as the guys in our group in our league, when they saw my team, they're like, "Oh, that's stupid! You haven't done that." So we'll see. I mean, I am staying humble, but I am top of the league at the moment. Of our mini league, that is.
Throwing that in there.
Maybe is it a 30 point lead?
Is it? Is it 30 point?
Who's counting?
Like Something like that. But
Just to
but
finish up on last week,
yeah, sorry.
the other games that were noteworthy was Man City 3-1. As expected, KDB, a bit of Jesus, bit of Sterling, Foden.
Yeah, Foden, and an interesting one from the Wolves side is Podence.
Yeah,
Yes.
Potent
yeah.
Podence.
As we call them, yeah.
He definitely could have got a goal. He got an assist in the end, but I think was it you, Woody, that was saying that with Jota gone to Liverpool, he's got a bit more space and he's a bit more nailed.
Yeah. So he is last season, end of last season, he was the poor man's Jota. Now he's the Jota man's Jota.
Exactly. Yeah.
He is just Jota, new Jota.
Yeah.
And he's also on. I know he takes corners from the right hand side. The outswingers. I don't know if he takes them from the left hand side, depending where you're standing.
I think Moutinho likes a corner, doesn't he?
He does, but he's also a bit of a dead ball specialist as well. So that's another feather in his cap, as well as being the support lefty righty striker along with Neto.
Now, Woody, would you describe yourself as a dead ball specialist back in your Norwich days?
Absolutely not. No.
Sorry, I have to make a mention of that every week.
Yeah, it seems like it. It's like one of those bingo. Yeah. One thing to mention as well, just before we move on to our team, Leicester as well. I think, Eric, you're pretty livid about the fact that Vardy is just not involved at all, even if it's 4-2.
Fuming. 4-2, right? You think the guy would get an assist, something. Even the yellow card. Like, he doesn't even appear when you open Leicester friendly. He's not even there. Like, just doesn't exist.
Yeah, if you get notification 4-2, you're like, all right, here we go. How many has my man Vardy got in? Nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right.
He's not there
all the time. Last year with City, like you open it up, it's like 5-1, baby. Sterling didn't even play. Right. Yeah. Thanks.
I think everyone's experienced this, but it's the worst when you see, like you're talking about, Woody. Like you see, let's say Manchester City 5-1, and then there's like Fernandinho 2 goals, Zinchenko gets a goal.
The worst was the Liverpool ones where it was like Milner, Peno, and Wijnaldum with a header.
I was robbed last season. I had a Milner, Peno when Salah was on the pitch. Inexplicable. Okay, so all that said, it was a very high-scoring game week, and no one really knows why. I think it was the highest of all time, was it, or close to? Maybe that's how the Premier League's gone this season. There's a lot more goals. Is that something to do with no crowds, or I don't know?
Well, I think that could be it. It could be, like you say, the crowd effect could be having just a bit more of a training game. Games are much more open. But I think maybe we mentioned it in one of our first podcasts. The sort of lack of preparation in the preseason, particularly new signings, means your systems aren't really in place, and systems generally mean your defensive systems. So there's just a lot more rust and lack of cohesion, and there's a lot more penalties so far this season in all competitions, like the Cup. There was one of the famous commentators on Sky Sports, whatever other channels are available. I can't remember what he said, but basically something along the lines of like, have you seen a game this year so far that hasn't had a penalty in it, either scored or missed or retaken? So it's
retaken. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh God, don't get me started on retaken penalties. Oh, God.
Okay, well, so should we kick off with our team of the week then?
Oh, yeah.
So the team of the week is always on the website. So if you want to follow along, it's there, fplbanter.com. And we'll just talk through our team. It fits about 100 mil budget. And so potentially on a wild card, you could get it. And at the end, we'll discuss, if you're not in a wild card, what we think is the best individual player to bring in. And so kicking us off, I guess, goalkeepers and defense. Who wants it this week?
I'll do those, I suppose, because I think the majority of those were my insistences.
Yeah, I know. I really didn't want to talk about those because I really am not a big fan of them, but there we go.
Well, you were insistent on Trent, but
anyway, true. That was Anyway, here we go.
That was the one he hung his hat on. But so starting in the back, we're again slightly different approach this week to our first 2 weeks where it was all about budget defenders. So we've had a slightly different approach, except for in goal, which I'll save a bit of money there. But it's Martinez, Aston Villa against Fulham. He's a good keeper. He's got form. He's good shot stopper. They'll probably face a few, so he'll probably get a few saves. But Villa do have a very good defensive record. They're one of those sort of solid Burnley-esque teams. So he's not expecting big things unless he gets another penalty save or something. But that's a pretty safe bet with a good fixture of Fulham. Then we're going for a back three, so we're doing 3-4-3 this week. And a little bit more money spent at the back. And after the midweek European game, Doherty didn't really play. Well, he didn't play at all. He's rested and he's got Newcastle at home. So I think that's a good chance for a cleanie. And also, Dockers likes to get forward. He's shown a little bit so far this season, not as much as he did at Wolves, but like I say, systems, and he's just getting used to it. And then we've gone for the Liverpool dead ball specialists with Digne and Trent. Both good. I say both good fixtures. Dean's got Crystal Palace, so plenty of room for some crosses and free kicks there. And Trent's got Arsenal, so it's an easy fixture, I suppose. Actually, yeah.
Eric, you got anything to say about that?
Nah. Never get an Arsenal defender. I'm not changing my theory on that. Okay.
Disagreeing? You were banging on about getting Leno and Martinez. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Martinez because he was getting transferred to Villa.
Yeah,
mate,
get out of it. Trent's Trent. I mean, he hasn't really shown that form yet that he had last season, but it will come at some point, and why not against Arsenal?
And Woody, just going into your Dockers thing there, because I know that you're saying that Spurs have a good chance against Newcastle. Is that because they've lost their defensive rock in Jamal Lewis, or what's...
Exactly? Well, that's it. So now Dockers is going to be down the left, and Sam Maximan's got a knock, and Lewis. It's like we're wide open down the right hand side. And
actually, by the way, do you guys? I don't know if you remember, but last week Doherty actually got a really good assist for a Kane goal, which was disallowed. Do you remember? Because he was just slightly offside. So, and it was the exact type of thing he was doing at Wolves. Like inexplicably, he was in the box, and he assisted the striker, and he's supposed to be the right back, but it was great. So I liked him. So I think it's a good chat, really.
Yeah, now he's shown a lot of that already this season. It's just that Tottenham are a bit inconsistent as they were last year, but that's just Jose, isn't it? It's always been consistent.
Yeah.
So that's the starting lineup, and then we've got Dunners, John Dunners for Burnley, and Mitchell on the bench. Just a couple of safe 4 millers that should probably start with the injuries at Burnley and Palace. And
like you said, actually, Everton, while they're good going forward, they're a bit leaky at the back. So Mitchell has been getting forward. It could be could get another assist.
Could be a Mitchell Zaha overload.
Yeah. Which takes us on to midfielders. So
segue.
Do you want to do that? Eric?
Yeah. So first midfielder, unsurprisingly, KDB. KDB is KDB, really. Not much more to be said. He's on penalties. He assisted his own penalty, which is that an assist? Should that be an assist?
No, I think he assisted. No. I think he assisted Jesus' goal.
No, he assisted his own penalty.
If it was a thing, he would have assisted his own penalty. I don't know why that can't be a thing.
Why?
Are you sure? Wait, how do we know that that's how he assisted? Because
he got tackled and it was a penalty.
Because he got fouled in the box.
No. I get that. But last few seasons, you wouldn't get an assist for your penalties, right?
No, and you still don't. But that's what we're saying. So he should have had an assist and a goal and an assist.
Oh, so 2 assists, you're saying?
Yeah. In perfect KDB.
If logic followed logic, I mean, if Sterling was fouled in the box and it was a penalty, Sterling would get the assist.
Yeah.
I mean,
of course. It's winning the penalty, not assisting the goal, right? That's what the points would be for.
Yeah.
Maybe I should send another email to FPL.
You definitely should. So if anyone doesn't know, Woody regularly emails the FPL team, the actual FPL team. So we'd like to make an apology to whoever has to read these emails.
These ranting, incoherent, livid emails. Do you remember the one a couple of seasons ago where Sanchez didn't get the assist for the penalty for Lukaku because 2 people handballed it before it, or something like that? That was going on for ages that he should have got this assist. Imagine
reading some ranting email from a guy who didn't get an assist and somewhere in the world. They'd just be like, "Geek!"
Let me tell you how to do your job.
You are a geek, man. Anyway, so then moving on, we have Son, which obviously after
Yeah.
scoring 4 goals and playing, he's basically playing as a striker. However, just the caveat here this week is that he played midweek, just not 90, but close to. So is he going to get arrested or is he going to get a full game? Don't know. But to be honest, even if he doesn't, he's got potential going forward, even if he only gets 10 minutes on the pitch. So
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of a no-brainer this week. So we got Son in there for sure. And then Podence. And we've already alluded to Podence. He is playing the Jota role. So he's playing forward. He could have got a goal against Man City. Sorry, Wits. I know you're going to disagree with me. But anyway, so we think that Podence is definitely, if you can't afford Jimenez, then Podence is a good sort of the next best thing. And at 5.6, he'll release a lot of funds elsewhere in the team. And then we have Zaha. And once again, we were talking about Everton. That's who he's got. He's got Everton at home. And he's looked great this season. What do you guys think?
Yeah. And Crystal Palace, I think, have been probably the surprise package of the season so far. They've been solid at the back, but actually good going forward. You expect Palace to be well drilled and stuff.
Yeah, and
they've actually looked good going forward, and we think with all the injuries they've got as well. And yeah, Zaha's just looked on it, like as Alex mentioned before we started recording, whether he's trying to put himself in the shop window again.
Yeah, I think
year in a row. And he's got to the 5th. He's got 10 days left to get snapped up. So
there was rumors circulating, which we won't mention, about why supposedly he never played for Manchester United under
because of Moisey.
Yeah. Under Moisey, yeah. But anyway, that's another story.
Wait, can I just say one thing that winds me up about Crystal Palace at the moment is that I have Batshuayi on my FPL draft, and my God, why doesn't he just start? I don't understand. Do you guys reckon he'll start this week?
Nate, you're a mug. What would you do?
I was going to say that. I was like, why don't you get Benteke while you're at it?
Benteke's back, apparently. He's back from injury, so here he is, guys. You'll see him start.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Zaha, he's that midfielder who's playing as a striker, so 7.1. Even if he doesn't sort of keep this form up for the whole season, he's probably not a bad shout. So that's the midfield. And then on the bench for our final midfielder, we have Alzate, plays for Brighton, and he's a bit of a bench filler, but he gets 90 minutes. So that's the midfield. What about the forwards?
All right. So the forwards, I'm going to kick it off with Werner. So we got Timo Werner in there. See, that's one that I'm not a massive fan of. I know you guys are going to be like, oh, but he hasn't been given enough of a chance. Why? But I still think
37 goals last season.
Yeah, but
it's too early to get off that train, man.
I mean, if he will score, presumably against West Brom, he will be doing that. I mean, he has to score against West Brom. If he doesn't, will you guys say next week that we should drop him?
It depends what his fixture is next week.
Oh,
you can never ask someone what they'll do next week in FPL because you won't be able to know what emotions you're feeling after, say, watching Spurs win 5-1 and not having a Spurs player and things like that.
True.
So that's the question I can't answer right now.
True.
Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, let's see. I have Havertz in my FPL draft as well. Hopefully he'll kind of smash it. He did pretty well during the week, but again, you guys will be like, oh yeah, but it was all like easy goals. Goals.
I mean, okay, if anyone watches the replay of Chelsea during the week, I think was it 6-1 they won or something like that. I mean, Havertz scored 3. This is 6-0. Okay, Havertz scored 3, but all 3 of those were just atrocious defending. Like defenders passing back to the keeper and him intercepting and tapping in. Okay,
yeah, but he was in the right place. He was in the right place, and his beautiful finishes, I'm sure.
I mean, okay. What is he? 8.5 or something? Nah.
Yeah, he's 8.5.
No, I've got him in my FPL draft anyway. And then we've got Martial up front. Sorry, Marshall.
You have to say it. You have to say it with a bad French accent. I say Martial. That's the
okay, right.
Yeah,
Martial.
Yeah. Exactly.
Martial is up front. Okay,
yeah, a little bit
up front. Now, again, being a Man U supporter, I won't mind this. I mean, this is a kind of win-win for me. But I didn't want him in the team either.
Hates Man U. Only Man U fan who hates Man U.
They all do.
They just drive me up the effing wall when I watch them. It just
A
winds
bit
me
of a
up.
backstory here. Woody and I suggested Martial, and Alex was like, "You guys are mugs," and we were just thinking, "Well, you're the one who supports them, so."
They're frustrating. I think as every Manchester United supporter out there will understand, they're frustrating, and they're going to drive me up the wall this season as well. But if anyone's going to score or get involved with any goal at Brighton, I think it will be Martial. Sorry,
Alex, can I just say
Martial.
that he got 200, maybe 201 or 200 points last season, which is really not bad for 9 mil.
No, I know the numbers. I know the statistics.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
he's a form player, right?
oh god, there we go. Another buzzword. Another bloody buzzword. Next we have Calvert-Lewin. I think again that one speaks for itself. Again, a bit of a jumping on the train, but I mean he is smashing it at the moment. I think Everton are looking quite threatening. Whether they sustain that throughout the whole season, that's another question. But for right now, as we're doing week per week, for us, Calvert-Lewin seems like a strong option.
I'm calling it another DCL hat trick this week. Done, mate.
You've just jinxed it. You've just jinxed it. Thanks.
It's done. Okay.
Thanks, Eric. To be fair though, last week I did call the Son hattie, even though that was a joke.
You were wrong, mate. He scored 4. How wrong were you?
Who would go with a hat trick?
Hat trick. All right. So that was the team of the week, and on to captain choice. So Proud Daddy, what do you think?
For me, if you want to be a bit of a differentially kind of guy, a little bit outside of the norm, banking on something a bit out of left field, then I would look at the guys with the good fixtures, with a good team. So DCL or Timo Werner could be good differentially sort of bids. I think.
I mean, Marshall would be a great one, wouldn't he?
I mean, possibly, but I don't know. I quite like Brighton. I don't know. It's not getting a good feeling. This is my feelings. These are my feelings here. But that being
Brighton
said,
is in the team that almost got relegated. That Brighton, or
yeah, it's a new look Brighton, mate. Since Lallana's rocked up, it's different.
Is it? Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
but that is if you want to be differentially. For me personally, with our squad and my own team, I'm going KDB captain, because he's on the dead ball, he's on penalties, he's the least Pep rouletted player they've got. So he's my captain, and then Son would be my vicey, just because of the form that he's currently in and the fixtures they've got, or fixture, Newcastle home, lots of injuries down the right, although he does play on the left.
But I mean, for me, I was looking forward to doing Son, and I have this dilemma in my own team anyway, between Son and De Bruyne. And my worry is the fact that Son was playing during the week. That's probably why I would probably side with the KDB things. But ideally, I would love it to be Son. If Son played, like let's say he came on at the 60th minute, I think I would seriously consider Son. But as you said, Woody, earlier, it's quite rare for players to score 2 hat tricks, one game after another, right?
Yeah. It's
so KDB captain it is then. Kevin De Bruyne captain and vice captain Sonny. And we'll just finish it off with one last thing, which is which player would we each bring in this week if we were just bringing in one player? And so, unsurprisingly, my one player is KDB. If you want to bring anyone in this week, it's KDB because of his assists and his goals. And I think he's probably one for the season.
For me, I'm going to go for Podence. I know, again, we're kind of sticking to who we have in our team, but I guess there's a reason why that is. But Podence are like Wolves are playing West Ham. Podence, we see him as quite a big threat, especially he was breaking down Manchester City quite significantly. So I don't think he's going to have much of a problem against West Ham. If it wasn't Podence, you could look at Jimenez as well up front if you want someone up front, because forwards is still a bit lacking, I find, for a lot of teams. So Podence or Jimenez, which is, I know I'm cheating a little bit by choosing 2.
Well, also, you've just completely stepped on mine, because I was actually going to go with Jimenez. So,
cheers.
So, yeah. All right. Cheers, mate.
Think quickly on your feet. Another one. Throw another one in.
Well, to be fair, you can't... I don't want to say Jimenez has been overlooked, because he's still got 22% ownership, but it's just no one's on his train yet. I think just because he hasn't been banging in the 2 goals, but he's been pretty consistent, and he's got such good fixtures coming up for the next 3 weeks.
Well, as Eric has said a good point about him, which is I think is a good thing, is he is pretty much a guarantee of 1 goal, but one goal only. You know.
Yeah,
He's not like a hat trick hero like DCL.
Huh? Exactly. Yeah, you're right. It's little and often, which if that's your thing, it's pretty solid. I don't think you'd ever captain him, like you say, because he's not going to get the big points haul, but I like him. And as all the reasons we've just discussed as well, that's also why I'd go with the DCL. Again, sort of chickening out by picking people in our actual team and our FPL this team. But again, he's got good fixtures coming up, and he's just in form. He only played a half in the week, so he should be rested if he's not injured. Maybe that's why he came off at half time. But so DCL or Jimenez, going with the strikers.
Nice.
Okay, guys. Well, that wraps it up. That's the 6th pod. Let us know if we can do any better or anything different. And as always, social media, Alex.
So at FPL_Bants for our Twitter, and our Instagram and Facebook are at FPL Banter.
And the website, fplbanter.com. Share it, like it, do whatever you want. And otherwise, see you next week for the next podcast.
All right. See you guys.
All right.
Thanks.
Yep. Cheers. Thanks, guys.